Paradise from George Ezra Magic in the Morning, and Mike Barrett joining us. We have a weekly chat with Mike about good policies for your insurance needs, whether it's home, auto, life. It just keeps going on, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
It's a huge industry. It is very complex, and we try to, inform people, kind of help them sort it out and answer some questions that they might be afraid to ask.
It's a really necessary evil in so many parts of your life, and it's really something we all love to hate, right? Even me, as the insurance guy, I love to hate insurance too. Why not? But if there's anything that we could accomplish with these conversations, it's to try to get rid of some of those misconceptions.
Okay, now everybody, and I am as guilty of this as anyone. You know where I work.
I do, right here. I see it.
For a lot of folks out there, price is the determining factor.
Yes.
Now, through our weekly conversations, we found out that price is important, but coverage and service is somewhat more important.
You got to remember that is such a large factor of it. That's the unspoken factor of insurance, is that, yeah, sure, you can probably find an excellent price, but what level of comfort would you have with that particular company, with that particular coverage, with that particular agent? And I think what is a good spearhead for this conversation is I'm working with somebody who has some youthful operators added to an insurance policy with some vehicles that really spiked up the cost of the insurance.
Okay.
I mean, significantly. And when that happens, it's always a trigger for us. When we see a large sway in premium, a large step that we take is, look, we have other companies, and we have other companies for a reason. We have other companies because we believe in them. We have other companies because we want to make sure we're giving you the opportunity to find the best price. And if nothing else comes out of this, at least we've looked at everybody and can come back and say either A, you're paying really kind of what the going rate is with most companies, or B, we can save you some money. Or C, you're really getting a good rate, which doesn't happen all the time.
That's the reality of it.
It is.
So we come back now to the service.
Yes. So I had one person in particular I've been, like I said, been working with, and I quoted all these other options to try to shave some cost. And another company, not to be named, was one that came in just about $1,200 cheaper. And the person said, look, I just have a comfortable feeling with the company I'm with now. I like who I'm with. I've been with them for many years. I've had claims experience with them. I like how they handle things. I like working with you. And I know that by switching, I wouldn't be losing you, but I want to stay with who I'm at. You know, the savings make sense and I like it, but my peace of mind is worth more than that savings. And that's a very rare piece of communication that I get, because price can very much be the dictating factor here. And that's because it's kind of driven into our heads with all this mass marketing that price. But you know what? Service and claims experience is huge. So if you're comfortable, stay with them. Stay with the company. Well, if you have questions about the possibility of saving and going to another company, sure, we can talk about some of the, possibilities of idiosyncrasies between the two, things that you may or may not get between the two. But if you're really comfortable, I am not going to come back at you and say you're crazy. I'm going to come back at you and say, you know what? You're making good sense. If that's really where you want to stay, I support it. But it's ultimately up to the consumer.
And thank you for the opportunity. That's just it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, people shop it. You said it earlier. It is a necessary evil. By law, you cannot operate a motor vehicle in this state
without insurance.
Right. And pretty much across the country. So if you're happy with the service, and folks are this way with their auto repair shops, they're this way with their hairstylists. If
when you're comfortable, that is worth more than, I don't know if that's worth $1,200. It might be to somebody. But I can't speak for that. But
it's weight in gold. It's one thing that they don't have to worry about on their plate.
Exactly. You know? So it's something that I applaud. It's a decision that I think is excellent. And, the exercise is always available to you. So it's not like because you've made that decision today that you're stuck with it for life. You could always down the road go, I've really thought about it. I think I could be swayed for some cost savings. And then there's your opportunity there. That's why we represent as many companies as we do. Quick rundown of the list for home, auto, and business would be Cooperative Insurance of Middlebury, Vermont, Concord Group out of Concord, New Hampshire. Ohio Mutual is a great company that we work with as well. Plus, we've got the Hartford. If we shave off the commercial side of things and just home and auto and personal lines business, we have Progressive. We have why am I drawing a blank? Not sure. Dairyland. We have Moffray Insurance, Kemper Personal. some good offerings out there, good companies that we've been with for a while. Then we have other commercial companies as well, like AmTrust and some other really incredible commercial companies that we write workers' compensation with, or other lines of commercial business. But it's good to have that big array of companies because it can help you compare.
I'll use me for an example here. I'm not sure which group you'll put me in. Okay, I've been with the same auto insurance company since I got things going again back in 2000. I think it was 2010, 2012. Anyways, I haven't shopped. I haven't done anything. My rate has gone down.
Which is
I've had no
not
incidents.
always the case, which is good.
But I'm comfortable with my company, as you mentioned that client was.
Yeah, the company I had before I switched to who I'm with now was Progressive, and I had them for 9 years, and I was extremely happy with them. I'm not ashamed to tell you who I'm with. I'm with Cooperative Insurance. When we bought our house in 2007, and this is a great example too. My wife said, "Look, I'm going to shop our auto with our home," because again, my wife and I work together. We're both the owners of the agency. We're both licensed agents in Vermont, New Hampshire. So I said, "No. I like my Progressive. We're not switching. We're not changing, right?" and I was adamant about that. And she said, "Look, I found $300 in savings if we went to Cooperative Insurance and put it with our home, have them both with the same company." So she's like, "How much do you love Progressives?" Well, I could be swayed.
$300 is a heck of a sway stick there.
So again, it comes down to your comfort level and what makes sense. There's so many variables at play. Never let just one factor determine your decision.
That's a great topic, and we got just enough time for a real short take on this one here. Kids are headed off to school.
Yes.
We've got a lot of new drivers out there.
Yes.
Parents, you know that we can't rely on our kids to take care of everything, so we got to make sure that they've got their insurance.
Exactly. If your kids are going off to college, they're leaving home, they're going to be in a dormitory, don't forget, typically up to 10% of the personal property limit on your homeowner policy would probably go to them anyway, because they're still dependent of the household. But if they've gotten computers and things like that, there are computer endorsements you can add to a homeowner policy to give them some added protection while they're away at school. Some companies are fine with doing that. Some companies have a little trepidation with doing that, but it's worth discussing. If they are now living off campus, your best bet really would be to get them a renter's insurance policy. Make sure it's good. There's no reason not to spend $10, $15, $20 a month for that added security to make sure that your youngster at school has everything they need for coverage. And it's just that important. So, yeah. And you talk about going back to school, the reason I was cutting it late this morning, my son Ethan.
Yeah.
First day of kindergarten. And I had to go. I had to take the dude to school with mom, and it was cool.
That's cool. Amazing.
First day. My nephew Patrick is a junior at St. Lawrence University, and my son is a kindergartner.
Yay! You're a proud dad. Tell folks how to get in touch with it, Barrett.
You can give us a call, 748-5224. Visit us on Portland Street in St. Johnsbury. Our website is thebarrettagency.com. Google, Facebook, and YouTube, all Barrett Insurance.
All right, I'll get this interview sent off to you so you can put it up on your YouTube page. Have a great Labor Day weekend. You guys open Monday?
No. Labor Day's Monday? You just gave me a day off. Thank you, baby.
Actually, it's not.
Don't lie to me now. I got a calendar somewhere.
We'll see you next week.
All
Magic in the Morning. We're getting ready to head off on the road to NVRH for the Radiothon. Here's some music from Haley Stein.